BeakerBeat.
It's Monday, November 14th, 2011. In this week's BeakerBeat, the proposed pay-for-delay ban gains support from government bean counters. Could this be the final straw? Plus, a major medical device maker issues a preemptive strike against the excise tax. Is this the start of a disturbing trend? And something must be in the water at the Beaker offices. We welcome a new member to the team. All that and more in this week's edition of BeakerBeat, brought to you by Life Technologies. To learn more about Life Technologies, visit their company webpage on Beaker.com. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of BeakerBeat. I'm Mike Justice, thanks for tuning in. Back on the golf course. I don't know why we punish ourselves, but here we are. Hopefully it won't suck as bad as last time. Right, Jeremy? Anyway, here's this week's top story. The Congressional Budget Office has examined the proposed bipartisan bill that would limit pay-to-delay settlements. Their findings? The bill would save taxpayers an estimated $4.8 billion over the next decade. According to the CBO, the Preserve Access to Affordable Generics Drugs Act, rolls off the tongue, would cut direct health care spending by $4 billion, plus increase federal revenue by $800 million. It also estimates $400 million in savings on appropriated spending. Some government officials have been eyeing a ban on pay-to-delay settlements, which are designed to keep lower-cost generic drugs off the market for extended periods. The Federal Trade Commission has been suing drug makers for years, looking to overturn various patent settlements it doesn't like. Now, meanwhile, the bill made its way through the Senate Judiciary Committee but hasn't yet been approved by the Senate. President Obama also joined in with a pay-to-delay ban in his 2012 budget proposal, which would save Uncle Sam $8 billion over 10 years. As you can imagine, both branded and generics drug makers are against the ban. They say patent settlements often result in generic launches before a branded drug's patent expires. Generic Pharmaceutical Association CEO Ralph Nias said in a statement, quote, "The bottom line is that settlements have never delayed generic market entry beyond the date of the patent expiration, and instead have proven to be pro-competitive and pro-consumer by making lower-cost generics available months and even years before patents have expired." End quote. True or not, we suspect their argument will find little support in Washington. Well, Jeremy, judging by this distance, I think I'm going to use this 3-wood. Plus, I like having a club that is a John Daly club. It helps me find my inner angry drunken golfer. Anyway, tell us what you think about this story or any story that you see in today's show. Very simple. Click on the orange button below us. A box will pop up. You type in your comments, send it to me. I promise I'll read and respond to every one of them as soon as I get done playing golf, which could take about 6 hours. All right, let's hit it. And we're putting our money where our mouth is when we say we want to hear from you. We want you to send us a photo of you or you and your coworkers together while surfing Beaker.com or watching BeakerBeat, just like this one by Jeremy, although you don't have to look that ridiculous. We're giving away 2 prizes at the end of the year for 2 categories. One for the most people in the photo, easy. Another for the most creative photo. What are the prizes, you ask? Is it a pony? No. A massage from Jeremy? Thank goodness no.
A new Porsche!
Hey, I'm not Bob Barker. Although I did spay and neuter my pets. Don't worry, it's a surprise, but it'll be worth it. So start snapping those pictures and send them to BeakerBeat at Beaker.com. The medical device excise tax bloodbath has begun. Stryker announced plans to trim its workforce by 5%, or about 1,000 jobs, along with realignment of resources and other restructuring activities. It's all aimed at reducing the company's annual pre-tax operating costs by more than $100 million by 2013, when the 2.3% medical device excise tax is set to take effect. Stryker has about 20,000 employees worldwide, and to no one's surprise, the stock jumped on the layoff news. Now, we suspect this won't be an isolated incident as we get closer to 2013, but the real question is, will these massive layoffs be the impetus to get lawmakers to rethink the tax altogether? There is a push to repeal it in Washington, and now there's proof that it could be more of a job killer than anything else. Stay tuned. Jeremy, why is it whenever we play golf, it's cloudy with the potential of rain? I think the weather gods and the golf gods both hate us. Johnson & Johnson just can't seem to escape manufacturing problems, even when it's not their fault. J&J's Doxil cancer drug has been in short supply, frustrating its customers, but there's nothing J&J can do about it. Why? J&J farmed out its Doxil manufacturing to Benvenue Labs, a unit of Boehringer Ingelheim that has been struggling to fix a series of production problems, including some flagged by the FDA. J&J doesn't have the power to move in and fix Benvenue's problems, although knowing J&J's recent history, that might actually be a good thing. Speaking of trouble, Merck is in marketing hot water again. The Wall Street Journal reports Merck has been subpoenaed regarding the marketing of several of its drugs. The Justice Department wants info on promotions for the heart drug Integralin and the antibiotic Avalox from 2003 to 2010. Merck inherited them in the 2009 acquisition of Schering-Plough. But wait, there's more. Investigators also want info from Inspire Pharma, which Merck bought in May as part of a false claims investigation into off-label uses of azicite. These new government probes join a subpoena issued earlier this year in the criminal investigation into the marketing of the X-shearing drug Temodar. And remember, Merck still has to settle a government probe into the marketing of its painkiller Vioxx. The company set aside $950 million to cover that settlement, but an agreement hasn't been finalized. I guess Merck attorneys never get a vacation. Japan's Otsuka and Denmark's Lundbeck will jointly develop and sell up to 5 psychiatric and neuroscience drugs in a deal that could reap billions in profits for both companies. Lundbeck will pay $200 million up front to Otsuka, plus Japan's number 2 drug maker could earn $1.8 billion in royalties and milestone payments. Lundbeck gets the rights to 2 compounds, which could be worth about $9 billion if fully developed and marketed. Lundbeck's most important drug, Lexapro, loses patent protection in 2012, and with a slim pipeline, this deal was pricey but necessary. North Carolina early-stage biotech firms will get as much as $35 million from the state's pension fund. This program, called the Accelerator, will bolster collaboration among in-state companies, research groups, and universities in manufacturing new medical devices and drugs. Pfizer has confirmed it will market an OTC version of Lipitor. This could squeeze more earnings out of the blockbuster cholesterol drug, which will soon face generic competition as it loses exclusivity later this month. Meanwhile, Pfizer and generics maker Ranbaxy Labs are accused by 11 California pharmacies in a lawsuit of agreeing to hold back a generic version of Lipitor in the U.S. and then fixing its price. The pharmacies claim this unlawful agreement allowed Pfizer to make $18 billion by extending its time as the exclusive U.S. source of Lipitor. Excellent, a provider of outsourced precision manufacturing and engineering services to the medical device industry, opened a 65,000 square foot manufacturing plant in Penang, Malaysia. This new facility expands Excellent's global presence. It currently has manufacturing operations in Germany, Ireland, Mexico, and the UK, as well as 14 sites in the U.S. Life sciences firms secured $1.8 billion in venture capital investments during the third quarter with 170 deals. That's an 18% drop from the second quarter. That's according to a PricewaterhouseCoopers report, which points to regulatory challenges, difficulty with IPOs, and equity market volatility as reasons for the drop. Thermo Fisher Scientific will repurchase $750 million of the firm's common stock on the open market or through negotiated transactions. The buyback will continue through November 9th of next year. What a difference a year makes for Abiomed. The company made $600,000 in profits during the third quarter, a huge improvement year over year when they lost $3.2 million. The device firm attributes the growth to its Impella pump, designed to assist the heart during cardiac surgeries.
Oh, nicely done.
He's got a beautiful backswing.
He got all of that one. He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
That did not suck.
First for everything.
Keep it down. Speaking of not suck, here's our last story of the day.
Finally this week, the Beaker team adds another member to its growing, albeit diminutive, ranks. Our long-suffering photog and editor Jeremy Beaker and his wife welcomed a baby girl to the world last week. Before long, she'll be acting just like her dad, sucking down bottles, pooping her pants, and crying herself to sleep at night. I just want to know how long it'll take before Jeremy trains her how to edit the show so he can watch football. I give it about 6 months.
So what we've learned here today, and every time we play golf, is that you need to play with a partner who sucks more than you. I found Jeremy, so it works out great. I feel real good about myself at the end of every round. Well, that's it for this week's edition of BeakerBeat. I'm Mike Justice. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Thanks for sucking.
You're welcome, I guess.
Sit, Beaker. Sit. Good dog.